We're live. Hello, everybody. Oh, there's even a couple of people in here already.
Wow.
Um, so you may have noticed you can't see us this time.
Oh, what a
That's
tragedy.
because it's always been bad every single time we've done this.
Jackson,
Um,
why are these the gifts that you've chosen?
they're good ones. Hold on, I'm gonna pick out some more.
Hold on. Just give me a minute. If anyone asks, I'm not playing Among Us.
Okay, okay, fine.
That's
Um,
fine. Listen, I've done all my tasks and now everyone is just staring at each other. They're literally all in med bay, all staring at each other, so
uh,
you can't get mad at me for playing a video game when you're actively looking up transparent
I
gifs.
am. It's for the show. There's a good one.
Man, look at all these gifs.
It, our show is it's really got to be like visually pleasing. We got to make up for the
Oh,
lack of
wow.
video.
Oh, look at all those dogs. Just.
Let's
This
see.
is. This is no bueno.
Here's a good one. So that's fun.
Cool,
You
cool, cool,
can
cool,
go
cool.
there. What's up,
Mm-hmm.
folks at home? How are you guys doing?
How you doing? This is good. I'm just slowly watching our viewer count just go to zero.
Just-
Put the fucking dancing baby away. Put that shit away.
Okay, here's
Why?
something. Here's something
Yeah, uh-huh.
worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. Something new, something different. Okay, I lost, so I'll stop playing Among Us now. Jackson, I don't think this is good for people just onboarding onto the podcast.
What do you mean? Why wouldn't it be?
What?
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be willing to stick around?
I don't think I would stick around. I think I would leave. See, when I told you to go find something visually interesting to put on the chat because we weren't going to have video, I thought that you were going to find some gifts of Beetlejuice. And I realize now that that was a fool's errand, a fool's dream.
No, there's no transparent gifts of Beetlejuice. Come on.
But yes, there totally are. You're just not.
Transparent gifts? Okay, well, hold on.
Or maybe just slap up some regular gifts.
No, that's not classy.
Yeah, because this is classy.
Yeah, it is.
When I think classy, I think that SpongeBob doing that funny dance. And something about that gif of Mario gives me like, when you find a piece of art and you have to stare at it for a second to like figure out if it's porn or not. That's what
Right.
that Mario gif gives
Yeah,
me.
no, for sure, for sure. I found a transparent GIF that's like fan art from the animated series. I could put that on there
Good.
if you'd like.
Yeah, because it's relevant. That's what I wanted. Jackson, I wanted like 2013 Tumblr gifs where Beetlejuice is like wearing a flower crown. That's what I wanted.
It like doesn't really fit the vibe, but I'll put it in there just to.
Okay, well, you've ruined the vibe. The vibe is
No,
100% your fault.
no, it's a good vibe.
See, that's just good. It's just a good, cool gif.
Yeah. Well, the rest of them are also good, cool gifts.
Yeah, uh-huh, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, uh-huh.
Here's
Hey, chat. Hey, chat, can I get some
Oh,
opinions?
here's one that's actually kind of cool.
I have to wait because I can't see
Yeah, you
it.
can't see it until much later, but
Yeah.
this is kind of fun. Let's see. It's my pledge to you,
That's fun.
the viewers, that I will never ever remove a GIF from this stream.
Oh my god, Jackson.
This is the baseline that we're starting with, and it'll only be more the more podcasts we do.
So just to be clear, you're just gonna stop and interrupt the podcast and stop everything while you Google some GIFs to put on the screen.
No, I just mean week after week I'll add more until eventually you won't be able to see the image underneath. It'll just be like a flat background of like constantly like undulating moving pictures.
Hey Jackson.
What?
I actually hate this.
Well, sorry. You're not in charge. I'm in charge.
I don't, this isn't a partnership, and I don't like your creative decisions thus far.
Okay. I'll stick with, I won't add anymore. We'll just leave it like this.
No, just keep the Beetlejuice ones and get rid of all the stupid ones.
No. It's good right now, don't you
Jackson,
think?
No,
you got Carlton
get him
there?
Out of here. No, get Carlton the fuck out of there. Get SpongeBob out of there.
I'll get rid of the dogs.
That fucking baby, that it makes me so fucking uncomfortable. The dogs are the only good ones, honestly.
I'll get rid of SpongeBob. We gotta keep Mario, though.
Questionably porn Mario. No, I don't want him here.
I'll get rid of the baby.
The Beetlejuice
I'll compromise on the baby. I have to stick to Carlton and Mario.
No, get Carlton and Mario out of here.
What if I made him smaller?
How small?
Like this small. Mario's just over there in one corner. Carlton's just over here in the other one. I really like this.
Yes.
And then here's this. I'll make this bigger because that's relevant, sort of. And all.
Okay, so Jackson, here's the new challenge. You can put non-relevant GIFs in there, but you have to take them out as soon as I notice them.
That's fun. I like that. I don't like the actually Beetlejuice one. I think it's dumb.
I think it's cool. I think it's cute.
Okay, fine. Whoops.
Someone made some like actual good art. We're stealing it.
Where should I put it then?
I don't know. Put it on Beetlejuice's face.
Right
or put it where the over Alec Baldwin's face. Actually.
Oh yeah. The heads don't line up, but
it's fine.
So now Beetlejuice is kind of holding his own head.
Oh, you think about it.
Where should I put the tentacles?
But I like the tentacles there. I think the tentacles are fine.
Okay.
I like that I'm kind of staring into it. I think it's good.
It's like you're getting absorbed by the tentacles.
Yeah, exactly.
They're coming for you. Okay, is this good?
Anyway,
you think we should leave it like this?
This has been Jackson messes around in MS Paint for a little bit. God, anyway. So who all is here? Ian's here. There's 2 other people. What's up?
What's up, gamers?
What's up, everybody? What is up, gamers?
This is, I think, okay, first of all, honestly, this is going to make everything better. Because not only do I get to play with fun GIFs live on air, also, I mean, not that I couldn't have done that before, I guess. But
yeah, you could have always been doing this.
But also, there's just a lot. First of all, the video sucked ass always, and I've sort of been lying to myself and telling myself that it hasn't, but it has.
Yep.
But also, there's so much less lag on our call now.
Oh, great.
Which is gonna make the fucking podcast better. Like, for sure.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So, anyway, I hope you guys aren't too mad. I don't think any of you will be, because like I said, it was always bad.
Anyone has any opinions.
Yeah. Hopefully someday I'll be able to save up and get a better computer, and then we can get back to Facecam, and I can do GIFs and Facecam at the same time. That'll be an exciting day.
Wow. Then we'll know that we're living in the future.
Right. But for now, I think I'm okay with this. Just fun little visualizer.
I'm glad that we didn't have video today, because I worked up until 3:30 today, which would be fine if I didn't have to watch a movie before, but I had to because I'm busy.
Okay.
But this is just a really long seed way of saying that I'm wearing a gray polo and jeans, so I look like somebody's middle-aged, hardworking father who doesn't understand his teenage daughter, and so I'm glad that no one has to see that.
And look at this. And I got 2 monitors set up, and I don't have to feel like I have to close everything to make sure my computer doesn't explode live on stream.
Yep.
God, this is just infinitely less stressful for me.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So what's up, gamers at home? How are you?
What's up, gamers?
We can kill a little bit more time before we start.
Jackson, have you ever actually watched the Beetlejuice TV show?
I watched a couple episodes of it today because there were a couple of them on my Beetlejuice Blu-ray. But don't talk to me about it yet because we have a podcast to do later.
No, I was saying I haven't seen it, but we could talk about it later.
It wasn't. I don't know. It was kind of fun.
It's a fresh, hot take on a beloved classic.
If by fresh hot take you mean a formulaic-ass TV show that doesn't have anything to do with the movie it's based on.
Yeah, that is what I meant. I do love this, like, the classic box art for Beetlejuice, because it doesn't represent the movie, but at all.
You mean the poster?
Yeah.
Not box art.
Oh, whatever. Fucking sue me.
I will.
It's just like Beetlejuice is like, hey, and Barbara's like, yeah, I'm okay with this, which never happens.
Yeah, my good buddy Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I like this guy. It's cool that he's standing next to me. I don't feel worried for anybody. Nope, not me.
I keep wanting to talk about. I guess we should just start the podcast, right?
Yeah,
because I keep almost talking about Beetlejuice and then being like, no, I shouldn't.
I really want to talk about Beetlejuice.
Give me just a mo. Let me set up my stuff.
I love this lovable rapist. That should have been the tagline. Beetlejuice, the lovable rapist.
I mean, he doesn't successfully rape anybody.
Yeah, there you go. That makes it okay. You heard it here first, folks.
It's cool. Okay, let me get my...
Test. Oh, it's doing that fucking thing where it's like, actually, no. And I can't stand it.
Testing. Oh, by the way... I'm working on my September streaming movies video. I didn't plan ahead well enough, as is always the case. Cool. It'll be out Monday night, I think. I think I can commit to Monday night, making it happen.
That's not so bad.
It'll be like the 5th. As long as I can get it out like in the first week of the month, I won't beat myself up too much about it.
Yeah.
Originally, I was like, it's gotta drop on the 1st every month. But now I'm like, it'll drop whenever I finish it. How about?
How about fucking wait till I'm done?
But yeah, it's like mostly done. I'm working on it.
Alright, when do you want to be recording?
I'm gonna start recording in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay.
Perfect.
Alright, let's do our sync.
Perfect.
Florence
Richardson
was
fucking
dancing
all
over
town
and
slipped
and
died.
Okay. R.I.P. Florence Richardson.
Fucking dancing.
Florence Richardson was fucking dancing all over town and slipped and died.
Is that the first good one we've ever done?
It might be. Usually they're just stupid.
Yeah, they're never good or coherent. Coherent? Jesus Christ. This This is why we do it at 5 and not at 6.
We really should be.
Because when it's at 6, I fucking lose brain cells at Mach speeds.
We really should be more coherent on this show.
Gotta work out our cores.
There's something so funny about mispronouncing the word coherent.
I know. It's because I'm a dumbass. What do you want?
Okay. So when I type in Beetlejuice GIF to Google, one of the first things it autofills is Tumblr. So let's take a look and see what's going on there.
Beetlejuice and a flower crown. Beetlejuice and a flower crown.
Oh no, these are mostly just screen grabs.
Well.
Which honestly makes sense because Tumblr's kind of the only social media where you can do like GIF sets. That's the one thing I miss about Tumblr.
Yeah, Tumblr can let you make like really pretty GIF sets.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, it's just like not a thing.
That was like basically all I did on Tumblr while I was on there. Was I followed a whole bunch of accounts that would just make GIF sets of movies and just like take like all the best shots of a movie and make GIFs out of them that they like put all together, and it was cool. It was nice. I liked looking at them. And no other social media platform really lets you do that. It's a damn shame.
I just like stopped with Tumblr. I like never made like a conscious decision to be like, all right, I'm not going on Tumblr anymore. I just like one day I woke up and it had been a month since I had been on Tumblr.
Right. I mean, that's kind of how it's been for like all social media for me lately. Like everything besides Twitter. But even that, I mean, well, see, I just sort of lost interest in social media in general. It's been a long... I'm not, like, trying to be like, I don't do social media. But I just, like, I kind of lost interest in Instagram. And I lost interest in Facebook a really long time ago. And that was kind of all I ever really had. Oh, and Tumblr I don't use anymore. I barely ever really use Tumblr, but I've completely stopped. And,
even less so now.
And just recent, I guess, like, in the last year, I got Twitter, and I got super sucked into that, and then I consciously was like, hey, this is bad for me, I need to limit my time on this thing. And so my solution to that is I don't have the app on my phone. I can only get on Twitter on my computer when I sit down at my computer, and that keeps me from just looking at it all day and destroying myself.
I've said this before, it's just, like, just follow, like, 10 people max. And then Twitter's a pretty cool place. This tiny little bubble of Twitter that I've made.
And I've also found
I will not go outside of.
And I found like a couple of subreddits that I like, that I've been frequenting, that are like either about like podcasts I like or like comic books, you know, that I can just like, oh, hey, check in, like find something breezy, scroll for a second, and then go about my day, you know?
Hey, have we started the podcast?
Yeah, see, the thing is that we started the podcast and because we didn't want to just shoot the shit anymore, but then we started the podcast and just started shooting the shit. Okay, so what's our intro going to be for Beetlejuice?
How does the Beetlejuice fucking theme go?
Were you about to sing the Undertale song?
What?
It's podcast time. I don't know.
It's podcast. I've watched the podcast 127 times, and it keeps getting funnier every time I see it. I think I'm qualified.
It's a good endorsement of our podcast.
Yeah, thanks, Beetlejuice.
Thank you, Beetlejuice. I really appreciate it. Hi, my name is Jackson McMurray.
My name is Alan McMurray.
And I'm Beetlejuice. I'm here too. Fuck, we shouldn't be saying his name. This is a bit. This has been a bit, but we definitely just said it a couple of times, and we can't keep doing that. We came really close. I don't think I don't know. Start the music. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. I'm scared.
I don't know what's gonna happen. There are so many unknowns in my life.
I think we only each said it once just then.
Just then, yeah.
So I don't know if that counts as 2 times or 1 each. I don't know what the rules are. But just to be safe, let's just not anymore.
Let's just not anymore.
We don't know what's going to happen.
So, Jackson, you made the mistake of bringing up Undertale, and I have a question for you.
Okay, I guess.
Best song in Undertale. Thoughts. You've played it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know, I'd have to go back and listen to it, because there's a lot of really fucking good songs in it.
Yeah, say what you will about Undertale. The music fucking slaps, and this is more just a joke about Bone Trossel, but like genuinely, it fucking slaps.
Yeah,
and I'm not afraid to say it.
I was really into Bone Trossel for a hot minute, but I feel like it sort of loses its novelty after a while as a song.
Yeah,
it doesn't have as much staying power as like some of the more dramatic songs.
Yeah. Like fucking, what's the music that plays when you fucking fight King Asgore?
That's a pretty good one.
It's just like, it's like just like this intense, like cool music, and you're like, oh, I feel so cool as the player right now. Watch me kill my dad or whatever happens in Undertale. I don't remember.
Did you hear the one song that he wrote for Pokemon Sword and Shield?
No, I didn't.
They let Toby write a song in Pokemon, and it's so weird because it's like a battle theme that totally sounds like Pokemon, but it also totally sounds like Toby Fox at the same time. Yeah. It's really fun. I mean, but like for real though, like Megalovania is kind of unimpeachable. Like it's hard to argue with Megalovania.
Yeah. Megalovania, because it just does slap. Like
there's a reason it's such a big deal. Yeah,
it's because it fucking slaps.
Right, like, it really truly does.
I mean, Toby Fox wrote that for a fucking what's the video game with Ness in it?
No, he wrote...
Mother.
Wait, no, are you talking about Megalovania? He wrote Megalovania for Homestuck.
No, I thought he wrote it for his mod of his Halloween mod of Mother 3, and then it was used in Homestuck, and then he used it in Undertale.
It could be.
Either way, Bone Trossel has been in a lot of really, like, cringy things, and still Toby Fox was like, but it's really good, though. I gotta use it. Because it fucking slaps.
Once I get a good streaming setup, we gotta bring back the video series we tried to get going, where we just play shitty Pokemon mods made by middle schoolers again.
Oh, hell yeah,
that was so fun. Back when we were first trying to dip our toes into, like, making content on the internet, Anna and Adeline and I started this... We recorded a couple of videos of us... Like, I would dig up these, like, shitty, like, ROM hacks of Pokemon Fire Red that were, like, definitely made by, like, 14-year-olds, and we would play them, and they were so fucking good.
They're all, like, super edgy. What was it, like, Pokemon Cops, or, like, you arrest a pedophile or something?
Yeah, every time you would go into a house, it would be, like... be like somebody getting raped or murdered inside. Then you would
it's just the Pokemon. It's just the Pokemon sprites.
Exactly.
So they're just standing there, and then some middle schooler has written dialogue where it's like, "Oh no, my husband stabbed me," and it's like, I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah, and then you'd like take him to jail. It was like a fucking gritty cop story.
Yeah.
Pokemon Emerald.
Pikachu's like smoking a cigar.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. It was so fucking good.
So Jackson.
Yeah, what's up?
I would like to... Now, I don't have any justification for this, but the image has just popped into my head, and it's become relevant because of our discussion. It's just Beetlejuice, but with the glowy eye, like he's Sans Undertale.
Okay, I feel like this is your responsibility, not mine.
And no, but I will do this, and we will put it on the Twitter. But just like, doesn't that just seem to fit within his character?
It's got a powerful energy for sure.
Yeah, don't you? It works.
And it's Adeline, like, I need to be clear. You did just say it again, and we're on fucking thin ice.
Oh, we're on so fucking thin ice. Let's do it per person because
otherwise we just lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Then when we would be dead,
we would have been killed by BJ himself.
The man. Don't call him BJ. This is a mistake many have made, and you've fallen into the same tiger trap.
So today so you know how, like, they call Macbeth, like, the Scottish play? Yeah. Like, how are we gonna refer to this movie?
We can't say that one also.
Oh, we can't say the Scottish play either? Okay.
No, Jackson. Right. God.
Well, no, you can say the Scottish play. That's how you subvert it.
I know, but you can't say the name.
Okay, you get 3 before he appears, so we did 1, and I'm sorry.
Wait, who appears?
Well, move on. The titular role in the Scottish play.
Wait, is that what happens? He just shows up?
He shows up and then he kills you and becomes king of whatever you were king of. He's already king of Scotland, and now...
Gotcha. And then his wife, like, has a mental breakdown about it.
Yeah. So, okay. So, no Scottish... So, anyway, my point is, how are we going to refer to this movie? We need, like a proper placeholder.
We can just call it... We can call the man Juicy, and...
Okay. We call him Juicy.
And we'll call the movie Juicy's Fun Time Parade.
The Juicy movie.
The Juicy movie.
An extremely juicy movie.
See, it's foolproof.
Yeah, okay. So the movie is an extremely juicy movie, and
yes.
the man is juicy. I like that a lot. Let's hope and pray to God that we can stick with it. Because otherwise there will be dire consequences.
This is, not to get off topic one more time, but just one more time. Have you ever said Macbeth around a theater kid and watched that theater kid react and then just want to slap that theater kid in the face?
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever had that experience?
Yeah.
It's just like, bro.
It's like, if it's like a 45-year-old like theater technician, it's like, maybe like you've lived enough to like have had something bad happen one time that makes you sort of superstitious about it. And obviously you're not like literally prone to believe that it will happen, but that's the thing about superstition, is that it's just kind of fun to play along, you know?
Yeah.
But when you're 15, it's like, just fucking shut up.
It's because it's like weirdly like they're trying to like be like, oh, I know something that you don't. I'm really into theater.
Yeah.
I know these things. And it's like, David, we're in the same class. Shut the fuck up.
Is there a story for why the Scottish play is a curse?
No, it's cursed because of the witches.
I don't think that's right.
Is that a thing? I thought that was a thing.
Well, a lot of plays have witches.
Okay, no. Only this one.
Okay, hold on.
Only the very juicy play. Are you Googling why Macbeth
yeah, I am. It
cursed?
says according...
I just fucking said it. God, fuck, whatever.
That was the third...
Yeah, listen,
I mean, you said it twice. You said it twice, I only said it once.
Okay, well, he's already here, so I don't know.
Is he really? Oh, you only get 2 for Macbeth?
I know, yeah, listen.
I guess that just means...
the fact that I was talking shit about it, I think is what pushed him over the edge.
Well, I guess that's good. Now we just know that we're off the hook.
Yeah, like, we don't have to worry about him anymore.
Does he seem cool?
I mean, he's being pretty cool. He's just he keeps knocking all the books off my bookshelf, but like, I could just pick those back up. That's not really a problem.
What are you the king of? What's he gonna become the king of when he usurps?
I don't know. He hasn't killed me yet. What's that, Macbeth? Oh, okay. He says I'm a woman, so it's fine.
Oh, so he just doesn't kill you if you're a woman?
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
That's very polite of him. I didn't know Macbeth was so woke.
Yeah, that's really cool of you, Macbeth. Oh, what are you saying? Oh, she-boss? Yeah, I am one of those. Yeah.
You built this podcast from the ground up.
Yeah, in my pantsuit that I own.
Shoulder pads, hell yeah.
Oh, Macbeth, what are you saying? The shoulder pads, they are Gucci. Thank you for noticing.
So apparently, according to Wikipedia, there's not like a singular thing. The most common belief is that Macbeth was a really popular play, so when theaters were like really hurting, they would usually do Macbeth to like get butts in seats.
Oh.
So it was like, oh, if you're doing Macbeth, it means things aren't going so well for you. So that just means like,
it's
so
haunted.
Somehow that transmogrified into the play is haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like whatever.
It's like the High School Musical of High School Musicals. You know your high school theater department is doing bad when it starts doing High School Musical.
Or like Shrek the Musical.
Yeah. Anyway.
So,
our high school definitely didn't do both of those last year.
Oh, there's a tab on this Wikipedia page called Cleansing Rituals. Let me take a look at this.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, we have to do that now.
Oh, okay. When the name of the play is spoken in a theater, or in a podcast recording studio, Tradition requires the person who spoke it to leave, perform traditional cleansing rituals, and be invited back in. The rituals are supposed
I have to leave.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see what kind of rituals you have to do. They're supposed to ward off the evil that uttering the play's name is feared to bring on. The rituals include turning 3 times, spitting over one's left shoulder, swearing, and reciting a line from another of Shakespeare's plays. I think we can apply the same rules to Juicy.
Yeah, no, this will definitely work for the Juicy Man. But okay. So one of them was swearing, you said?
Yes. So here's what you have to do.
It's painted in this scenario. So your friend Dave, who's also doing community theater with you, he's just being a big douche, and he says it. He says the damn thing 3 times in a row.
Right.
And the director points at him, eyes made of fire, and tells him to leave.
Yeah.
And you just see Dave go outside, go, fuck! And then immediately walk back inside. That's what this is what Wikipedia wants you to do.
So Adeline, what you need to do right now, and I'm gonna do it too, because this, I think it'll all-purpose. It'll cleanse juice.
We'll just cleanse everything.
And then we can start over. We need to, we're not gonna leave, because maybe if we take off our headphones, that counts as sort of leaving the podcast space. Stand up. Turn around 3 times. Spit over your left shoulder. Say a curse word, and then recite a line from a Shakespeare play.
Are we doing all of those things?
Yeah, you have to do those things in that order.
Oh, you have to do all. Oh, God, I can't remember. Fuck. Okay.
Okay, I'll go first. You can stay on the line.
Okay. Are we not doing this at the same time?
No. Okay, I'm standing up. I have to take off my headphones in order to turn around.
Yeah. This is great content. This is amazing.
3, get dizzy.
Jackson. Jackson, your vertigo.
Spit
Jackson,
over my left shoulder. Bastard. And, thou, O wall, O sweet, O lovely wall. Okay, now you go.
Amazing. Okay, what was it? Spin
3 times, swear. Spit, swear, Shakespeare line.
Okay. Spin, spit, swear, Shakespeare. Okay.
The 4 S's.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know if which thing can pick up audio. I'm just guessing it's both. Okay, I'm spinning.
Don't get dizzy. I got dizzy.
Dewey.
You're a coward. You didn't actually spit.
I don't know if I can pick up the audio or not, because I don't have my headphones in. Piss. And then, alas, poor Yorick, I knew thee well. Or
wait a minute. No, wait. Oh, no, that's Hamlet.
Back down. Oh, bye, Macbeth.
I got confused because I thought that was from the Scottish play, and I was like, doesn't count, but it was Hamlet. I forgot.
And that's the Hammy Man. Jackson,
okay,
Hamlet's gonna show up in your room now. God fucking damn
we can't do this for everything.
Alright.
Okay, anyway. Good that we've done that. We just gotta remember the 4 S's. Spin, spit, swear, Shakespeare. Okay. Which means we have a free pass now for 2 Juicies if we choose to use them.
You can drop a Juicy if it's funny enough for the goof.
Right.
You can drop a Juicy.
Okay.
Alright.
So we talked about an extremely juicy movie today on the podcast. This is a really good movie.
Yeah, no.
I watched this for the first time when I was probably 14, I think, 13 or 14. Because I feel like it's just one of those movies when you're getting a little bit older and your parents start showing you some older movies, some more grown up movies. It's
adult things.
Yeah, one of those ones. And it definitely freaked me out, maybe a little bit more than it should have at that age. Just the vibe of it. I mean, that is this movie's strongest element, is its vibe, which is supremely disconcerting. It has this weird sort of whimsically existential sort of, I don't know. It's existentially scary while also being goofy as fuck.
Yeah, which is as an adult, I'm hell yeah. Like, this movie, we talked about it when we did The Conjuring, but, like, I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but if I do, I believe in the kind of idea that, like, they're just people, bro. I don't know
Right.
why you so scared,
Not
homie.
malevolent spirits.
Yeah, so like this like totally scratches my itch of like nice ghost movies where it's like we have like 100% explained why the ghosts are doing what they're doing and like seeing them as showing them as like people instead of just like scaly. Like I
Right.
really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Cool.
It's a very juicy movie.
It's an extremely juicy movie, if I do say so myself.
That's the sequel. An extremely juicy movie.
So, sorry, let me bring up my notes super quick. But yeah, like,
Do that.
there's a certain... Because it wasn't necessarily just that there were, like, freaky, practical, like, monsters in it that scared me. It was just, like, this whole idea of, like, just being dead and being stuck somewhere forever. Like, the idea of, like, there is an afterlife, and it's not, like, hell, but it does just kind of fucking suck, though.
Yeah, and it's not like there's not like a good option either. It's just like, yeah, it fucking sucks, bro. I don't know what you want us to tell you.
Yeah,
like,
it's like it
it's
sucks
just bad.
Pretty much as the regular world does, if we're being frank. You're just like, maybe a little bit worse. You're like, oh no, okay, well, fuck, then.
Oh, it sucks.
Well. But it's just like something like inherently about that, like just the concept of like eternally anything. You know?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason at 13, like, really got under my skin. And, you know, as an adult, I guess I've just built up more walls around
the existentialism.
The fear of death. But, like, it's just, I don't know. But even still, like, this movie is kind of freaky sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I think about that moment where they're in the waiting room and they say something like, oh man, we didn't sign up for this or whatever, and like the woman behind the counter is like, oh yeah, if I had known what I know now, I wouldn't have made my big mistake, and she like shows that she's like slit her wrists, and you're like, fuck, that is really upsetting. Like it's kind of played as a joke, but that's like tremendously sad and scary.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made the mistake of the first time that Barbara goes outside and she goes into the Mars sands, which they never explain, but it's fine. That just like, I just made the mistake of like thinking about it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of horrifying, actually. This is scary. Like, just like, you're fucking stuck in this house, and these people are gonna do whatever the fuck they want to it. Because, like, at the very beginning of the movie, they very much establish it as their space. Not when they're living, of course, because it's their house, but like after they die, we like see them like come to grips with being dead inside the house, and we see them interact with the house in all these fun, kooky ways, like even when they're dead. So like they very much establish the house as like being like their space. So when the Dietzes come in and they just like totally change everything, it feels like it does such a good job of like making that space feel like it's been taken away. And then now they're just like fucking in the attic forever. Like it's
right.
They do a good job of like making it uncomfortable and like making it scary. It's like, oh crap, they are just like stuck in there.
Yeah, I guess it's like, I don't know. And this movie is like, obviously its whole thing is that it's just like has this total devil may care attitude about death and eternity and like
hell. Eternity is really the one. See,
yeah.
I just started a job, which means I had to go through like a lot of trainings and stuff, and like learning things that I didn't know, and a lot of like bureaucracy with like stuff with like corporate and stuff.
Right.
So like when they like go places and they're like, "Did you do this thing?" and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know I had to do this thing," and they're like, "Well, fucking god, bitch, you're like a month behind on this thing." And they're just like, oh, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I just, like, I felt that. Like, that, like, terror of, like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know how I'm doing it wrong or how to fix it, and nobody's telling me anything, so I guess I'm just gonna fucking die. Like,
right.
Like, just, like, having no control over everything. And I think the, like, themes of, like, bureaucracy and like mundane kind of like horror had become super big, of like the company that like owns your soul, like that kind of thing has become very popular. And I don't think Beetlejuice started that idea in any capacity.
No.
And I just named the very juicy movie, but
okay.
Yeah.
You get one more before you have to do the ritual again.
And no, that was my first one.
I know, that's why I mean. You can't wait until after you've said the third one, because then it'll be too late.
That's fair. That's really fair. Then the Juicy Man is going to show up.
Yeah, then Juicy's going to come kick your ass.
Which is worse, do you think? The Juicy Man or the Bye-Bye Man?
I don't know. We should do the Bye-Bye Man.
What if that movie's actually scary, though?
So, okay. There have been rumblings of a sequel to Beetlejuice for the last, 5 or so years. For some reason, every few months, somebody is like, oh, Tim Burton's going to direct a Beetlejuice sequel. They said they were going to do it, and Michael Keaton's going to come back and do Beetlejuice again. And, it's the sort of weird thing where it's there's literally no information besides that, Warner Brothers said they would do it.
Yeah.
And it's been 5 years, and it hasn't made any real headlong at all. And, every year that passes, Michael Keaton gets a year older, as people tend to do.
Yeah.
And it's I don't think
we're actually
I don't think we are going to do that, for two reasons. First of all, Michael Keaton's pretty old now, and I don't think he could pull off this whole thing again.
Yeah.
No shade to Michael Keaton. No shade to Michael Keaton. This is a performance that you cannot give once you're older than maybe, 40. You know?
Yeah.
Just in levels of...
Because it's such a fucking amazing performance. It's a compliment. You can't do this again because it was so amazing.
Well, yeah, just in terms of the energy, how much raw energy there is and how much physical sort of...
Oh, yeah, he's doing...
Yeah, he's, doing so much, and, if you can imagine fucking 65-year-old modern Michael Keaton...
Yeah.
trying to do this, it would be sad. I don't think it would be as
unless
good.
I think if it was a plot point, but I kind of hate the plot point of X person has gotten older now.
Yeah,
I'm always
that would be no good. Also, Beetlejuice is a fucking sex pervert, and
also
we would not want to have that now. I think.
Yeah, always Yeah, I think this movie, the way that the characters handle it is fine, because everyone's like, oh, this guy's a fucking pervert, and we all hate him. That's great.
And
I'm
look,
glad that nobody likes Beetlejuice, but the movie likes Beetlejuice, and the movie wants you to like Beetlejuice, even though all the characters are like, hey, this pervo is bad news. It doesn't... It doesn't change the fact that the movie is named after him and he's being a pervert the whole time.
And just to be clear, I don't necessarily think there's anything problematic or harmful about this movie because of the reasons you said, the way it interacts with it. And
and also because he's not a person. I
also
can't stress
true.
This enough.
It's first of all, I just think that it would feel very different if this movie came out today.
Yeah,
not in the sense that it would be any different. I just don't think people would show up for it in the same way.
No, I don't think anybody would come to support the Juicy Man, a very lovable pervert.
If you're walking into a theater, you're like, oh hell yeah, this is it, 2022. We're here to see Beetlejuice 2, Beetlejuice, and the movie opens and it's I'm Beetlejuice, and he's looking up ladies' skirts and fucking touching their butts and stuff. You just be
marrying a child.
Yeah, exactly. You'd just be like,
This is bad.
I don't think I should be here.
Yeah, first of all, it'd be post Me Too movement. We can't keep doing this. Also, it would I feel like the movie would almost have to address it, and then it would be ruined. It would be have... looking behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz to be like, oh, he was actually a pervert, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, they would have some 19-year-old girl character who's like, I want to be a scientist. And then Beetlejuice would show up and touch her butt or whatever, and she'd be like, that is not appropriate! And she'd get really indignant, Beetlejuice would learn a lesson about feminism or whatever.
Yeah, or
I'm,
whatever.
I'm modeling this after Pirates of the
Beetlejuice?
Caribbean 5.
Yep. What if I would come to a movie that's just like, all right, Beetlejuice, sit down. We're gonna make you woke in the year of our Lord 2020. Where it's like, Beetlejuice, we love you. You're a very lovable pervert, but you have to stop.
What if that was like the whole tagline for the movie? It was just
Yeah.
like, Beetlejuice is woke now. It's like Beetlejuice 2, woke Beetlejuice. And you sit down in the theaters and Beetlejuice is just like, gentrification is a serious problem that we need to take seriously in this country. You're like,
You need to stop saying powwows when you talk to people in small groups, because it's like way not okay. And then he like touches his crotch or something.
and then he squeezes his ball sack and it makes a honk honk noise.
Yeah. So another thing about Beetlejuice 2 is that our good friend Tim Burton, he is not a sequels guy. He's the type of... there are two things. Like, part of me respects Tim Burton for being like, I did this thing and it was cool. I don't want to make a sequel. I think I did what I want to do. And like, part of me is like, yeah, I think that's cool, and that's a healthy mindset to have with like your art, especially like with the movie industry, just being like, I did what I wanted to do, and I'm fine with how it is, and I don't want to add on anymore. Like, work out another story to do another thing. And it's like, all right, I respect that. But at the same time, because it's Tim Burton, I know it also has that twinge of, like, elitism. Like, I'm not gonna make a sequel like Hollywood wants me to do, you know? Like, I feel like it's both of those things, and I don't like that second thing. Because, like, that's one thing for people, like, a regular person to be like, Hollywood sucks. Nothing good comes out of Hollywood. And it's another thing for a person in Hollywood to say that. It's fuck, bro. You know you're part of the problem, asswipe. You know that, right?
By the way, Adeline, when you make that picture of Beetlejuice with the Sans Undertale eye, you gotta make it say Beetlejuice is woke now underneath it.
Yep. You got it.
Okay.
You got
it. Okay. But apparently, from what I've heard, they were, by all accounts, planning on making a Beetlejuice sequel at one point, like in the 80s when it was fresh. That just never really came together, and the pitch was supposed to be like, I don't know if there was really a pitch, but the idea was just that it would like take place in Hawaii. It was like, what if we put Beetlejuice in a Hawaiian shirt, and they were like, here's $40 million, go for it.
Yeah, because I would fucking show up for that.
Yeah, though. Absolutely.
God, if you're like, here's Beetlejuice, he's on a beach, I would just be like, fuck, dude, hell yeah.
Like, sipping out of a coconut? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Like, at one point, you know there would be a goof. He's got on, like, the coconut bra, and you'd be like, this is funny.
You get to see his shitty body, and he's doing a little hula dance.
Yep. His shitty, pasty body.
And then he, like,
hell yeah.
does, like, some kind of pelvic thrust, and his skirt flies up, and he's wearing a Speedo or something. And everyone's like, ew! And you're like, hell yeah, Beetlejuice.
Hell yeah, Beetlejuice. He's woke now.
He's woke now.
He's on a beach. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt, but the Hawaiian shirt has got, like, cool, like, spooky patterns on it. And you're like, oh, I would buy that shirt. And then Hot Topic sells it. And you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I can wear that shirt. Yeah.
He's like, hey, everybody, we gotta have a really frank conversation about the things the United States did to the nation of Hawaii. And
yeah. And he's like, I will not be doing a hula dance because it is disrespectful to pretend that me waving my arms around is the same as an actual traditional dance.
Cultural appropriation is a very serious problem that deserves to be respected.
We forced them to become a member of the United States of America against their will.
I love woke Beetlejuice. He's so good.
I just love the idea of him just like in the Beetlejuice voice, just staring directly into the camera and be like, all right, everybody, we're having a lot of fun here, but...
We've had a lot of fun here today, but have you registered to vote?
Oh my god.
Local elections are often just as important as presidential ones, perhaps even more important. It teaches you about, like, the electoral system.
The Electoral College is a flawed system that was designed to silence the voter.
God,
Hey
that's
guys,
so funny.
everyone who's listening, Woke Beetlejuice wants you to register to vote. Please, for the love of God, register to vote before it is too late.
We said Beetlejuice a lot when we said Woke Beetlejuice.
We've said Beetlejuice like 12 times. It's too late. He's already here. There's actually 4 of him here.
Yeah.
It's fine. But...
Oh, there's somebody in chat telling us that we need to go back to Pokemon. We should get back to Pokemon.
We should get back to Pokemon.
Because he's saying we need to... I don't know this person's gender. They're saying that the like CGI remake of Mewtwo Strikes Back on Netflix last year needs to be covered, and I'm inclined to agree with them. I feel like we need to do that.
I forgot that was the thing. That would be so good. See, here's the problem. As much as I love this very juicy movie, is that I don't want to talk about it anymore because I just want to talk about Woke Beetlejuice. What are some other fun places to put Woke Beetlejuice? I would love to see
New York.
Woke Beetlejuice goes to Europe and he just talks the fuck about colonization and how it fucking sucks. I would love that. He's like, look at this fucking French bulldog. Anyway. Colonization ended in like the 70s and it was way bad for all the people involved. It's just like, hell yeah, Woke Beetlejuice.
I like the idea that he's like, he doesn't feel strongly about any one particular topic. He's just like, he's woke about everything. He's so woke.
Yeah.
Like he goes around, so like he sees like a French bulldog and he's like, you know, many modern dog breeds are atrocities that are unhealthy and live in pain all of their lives. And you're like, all right.
Yeah. Is Woke, I think Woke Beetlejuice, he's a vegan, but he's one of those like really cool vegans.
Yeah.
Who's like, I totally understand. Listen, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, but I personally cannot stand by while animals are mistreated in the meat industry. It's like, yeah, I totally get you, Woke Beetlejuice.
The real cost of meat is on the environment. You're like, I agree, Woke Beetlejuice, thank you.
The leading cause of pollution in our waters is actually because of the meat industry. It's like, yeah, you're right. And then he gets like a suckling pig and like farts on it or something.
He puts an apple in his mouth and lays down on the plate. He's like, but not this meat industry, baby.
Yeah, and then he squeezes his balls and makes a honk sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He looks up a girl's skirt. Looks up a girl's skirt and is just like, the United States has a culture of rape acceptance that dates back all the way to fuck it, never mind.
And he just puts skirt down and he walks away and just like puts his head in his hand.
He's like, whatever, you get it.
Whatever. Fucking guys, just Google anything. God.
Read the news.
Just go multiple sources. Come on. Anyway, okay.
We can't keep doing Woke Beetlejuice.
We have to talk about a very juicy movie.
Okay, so. If anybody, it is your responsibility, somebody, to draw or animate Woke Beetlejuice.
Woke Beetlejuice.
I'm willing this into existence. This is your moral prerogative right now.
God, we've talked about how we don't want to make merch because we don't think that anyone will buy it, so there's no point in making it.
I mean, not yet.
But God, I would make a shirt that has Beetlejuice with the sand sign that just says Woke Beetlejuice underneath it.
I still like Beetlejuice 2, Woke Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is woke now. Okay.
So we open with a very normal town and with a very normal house.
Yeah, but can we just... You can't speed past the beginning of this movie without talking about what a fucking god among men that Danny Elfman is. Because that fucking score and that main
really
theme...
good.
Because the opening credits to this movie is literally just, like, helicopter shots of this super small town. That's, like, all that it is. Mm-hmm. But because you got this bumpin' theme, this Beetlejuice theme in the background, I've said the Juicy name several times, and I just don't care anymore. He's already here.
We're done.
We can't. It doesn't matter anymore. But, like, you've got the Juicy theme going, and it's just... You know what's up immediately. Like, the tone has been set perfectly just by the song. It's like, oh, we're in a small town, it's like, oh, but it's a little weird. It's a little freaky. Like, it's a little bit of a clown circus vibe. It's like, oh, I know what's going on here. Because Danny Elfman knew how to tell me what was going on through song.
I remember the moment, I don't remember what the context was, but it's that moment where they switch from whatever conversation the Maitlands are having, when it sort of like just goes over into the little town, you start following the fly, you know? Filmically on its own, without any sound, it's really kind of slow and would be weirdly boring, you know? It's just like
we're just watching
someone stops talking
around.
and the camera like goes over there and you spend like a solid 60 seconds like zooming closer to the thing and you're just like, okay, I guess. But
cool, Tim.
Yeah, but in that moment, the fucking Danny Elfman score like kicks it into fucking high gear. It turns it up to 11 and just goes apeshit, and you're like, what's going on here?
What are we doing?
It totally sets you up for how much it's about to rip.
I know, yeah.
And I'm very excited about it.
See, here's the thing. Woke Beetlejuice has destroyed my vocal cords.
Okay.
Has this also happened to you?
Not really. I was being responsible.
No, I wasn't. I was going all in on Woke Beetlejuice, and my vocal cords hurt now.
It's really important to take care of your voice, especially if you're a performer.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
That's old Beetlejuice.
Yeah. He's having a conversation with himself. He's got like
Woke
he's doing that thing
Woke
where
Beetlejuice
like every
kills
time
him and says the future is female.
She boss. So I want to talk about how freaking we talked about this with adaptation a little bit. It's not the same thing at all, but just like people are really pretty in this movie, and I think it's really nice. Like Gina Davis. So pretty.
Yeah. Okay. I texted Anna about this.
Okay.
Because Catherine O'Hara is really fucking hot in this movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Like, not that she's not hot now, obviously.
Yeah, no, she is a very beautiful woman. Yeah.
But I'm a 23-year-old boy, and I'm not in a place in my life where I can be, like, immediately
I'm a 23-year-old little tiny boy.
I'm just not in a place right now where I could be physically attracted to anybody who's over, like, 45. Not that it's bad to be over 45, that's just where I'm at in my life cycle.
No. She's beautiful, she's attractive, she's just, it's the age gap, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, exactly. I know me and modern-day Catherine O'Hara, it just wouldn't work out. There'd be too much of a cultural divide.
There'd be too much. Yeah.
But Beetlejuice era Catherine O'Hara, I was like,
yeah,
she's Catherine O'Hara can get it in this movie.
Yeah.
And this is also definitely the most handsome Alec Baldwin has ever been.
Oh, yeah, dude, I didn't fucking know this was Alec Baldwin for so long, because I only know rectangle head businessman Alec Baldwin.
Like, the shape of his head has changed.
Yeah, it's not the same fucking dude. I don't believe that this is Alec Baldwin, because he's fucking cute in this movie.
Yeah.
And, like, he's, like, a lovable dork, and he fucking, God, I got such a big crush on this man. He's fucking adorable, and he's, like, interested in his models, and he's loving his wife juice. It's just like, he's so hot.
He's, like, skinny and lanky and wears glasses. And you're like, who's
this?
He's
wearing his, like, dumb plaid shirts. He's so cute. And then fucking modern day Alec Baldwin, God, just fucking looks like the human personification of a microaggression. It's just like...
He's so rectangular.
He's so rectangular. He is a living rectangle. I don't know. It's not Alec Baldwin, unless... God, what happened, man? What happened to you?
I can't help but notice that we have lost a couple of viewers. We might have talked about Woke Beetlejuice for too long.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Listen.
if they don't like us at our Woke Beetlejuice, they don't deserve us at our...
Insert something.
I don't know. I don't even know what they want. If they're not here for Woke Beetlejuice, I don't know what will make them happy.
But yeah, like that's... I think Catherine O'Hara, or not Catherine O'Hara, sorry. She's also I think Gina Davis is really pretty in this movie. But, like, her fucking hair is atrocious. Maybe that's just the 80s, But, like,
Perhaps.
the amorphous blob that her hair is, this entire movie is no bueno. Like,
Right.
she's so pretty, and her hair is just, like, it's not even, like, oh, that's an 80s hairstyle that's just, like, non-fashion anymore. Like, it's literally just, like, it's an all-consuming blob that has no shape, and I don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people in this, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking of Catherine O'Hara and Alec Baldwin, who just, like, sort of had to grow into their stardom, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's not true of Winona Ryder, because she was basically a star immediately, and Gina Davis retired at, like, 35 and stopped acting at a certain point, so whatever. But anyway.
So, I have a question to ask of you, Jackson, because we're talking about how hot people are.
Yeah.
The Juicy Man. Thoughts?
Smash or pass?
Smash or pass Juicy Man?
See...
Sexual assault aside.
Right. If he were woke, if it were woke Beetlejuice.
Yeah, think of woke... Imagine woke Beetlejuice.
He does have charisma.
Yeah,
for sure. I think the thing that tips it over the edge into not, or into pass, I should say, is probably the paunch.
Yeah, I would argue that this is an opinion that you have, Jackson, that no one is really ugly, because if you dress anybody up on the planet, if you put them, like, in nice clothes, you put any man in a tux, in a nice tux, then he immediately becomes handsome.
Right.
Like, that's been your thought. I would argue that when he's wearing his stripy suit, stripes, very slimming, suit, very slimming, I would argue there's not a lot of punch in his stripy suit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tricky. It's real tricky, because he does have a lot of scabs, it looks like. Yeah,
he's a kind of oozy.
Yeah, for sure. But, so, like, it depends. Would you have sex outside? If the answer is yes, maybe you're into Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say, before you brought up that just mind-blowing opinion, that I was gonna say, like, I think I've been looking at the stream and looking at the title, the box cover. I'm gonna keep saying box cover. Fuck you, Jackson.
Okay.
The poster of Beetlejuice. I think this Beetlejuice is a pass, because, like, he's kind of cleaned up. He's wearing his signature stripy suit. He doesn't have any oozy scabs. I think that's a smash.
Right.
I would argue there are points in this movie where it is a pass.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I would think that him doing the commercial where he's got on, like, the cowboy hat and he's just, like, screaming, I think that's a pass.
Can I just say, that commercial is so fucking good. I'm gonna read you a transcript of what he says at the end of that, okay?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's talking about his business, and then at the end he says, "I'll eat anything you want me to eat. I'll swallow anything you want me to swallow. Come on down, I'll chew on your dog."
Yep.
Which is the funniest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah. God, he's so funny.
There's such, like, chaw energy to that line.
Yeah.
I can just imagine him.
Like orange, like 1,000 feet.
He'd just be like, "I'll eat anything that you want me to eat. Come on down, I'll chew on your dog."
It's just like, it's perfect.
For people who don't know, there's this YouTube video that me and my friends were all obsessed with in high school called Chaw. It's just this guy with a mustache and a cowboy outfit, like, just walking around saying insane things.
Just saying anything. And it's so funny.
There's a really good one where he's just
It's one of those, like, old internet videos that are really funny, where that person did that funny thing once and everybody loved it, and then they tried to, like, make it into a series, and then it just, like, wasn't as funny anymore.
Right, yeah, and never became funny again.
Yeah, but that first one, god damn it.
I like to get real sopping wet and then break into my neighbor's house and steal all their shit.
Yep.
It's so good. There were so many lines from that video that me and my friends in high school would just say to each other constantly.
It's so good.
So for folks at home, that's Chaw, C-H-A-W. It's maybe the best video on the internet.
Got 6 fingers on my left foot. Or what was it?
I have like 6 or 9 toes on my right foot.
That's right. Anyway, we can't keep talking about Chaw.
Can't just do Chaw forever. But that moment where he's just like, "Come on down, I'll chew on your dog," is so funny.
And he just screams. Yeah, he's so funny. And I feel like every time I watch this movie, I laugh harder at like a different thing.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was that moment where they're just like talking, and then he starts screaming, and his head like starts spinning around like Exorcist style, and he like stops and grabs it, and there's just this really long. It's like a second long wide shot of just Barbara and what's his face and Alec Baldwin just like staring at Beetlejuice while he's like hunched over holding his head for like a solid entire second. And then he just goes, "Don't tell you when that happens." Like it's so funny, fucking funny.
I also love. There's that moment where he's like down in the little miniature because they just put him back there, and he's like trying to get their attention. He's like, "Hey, come back!" And then he's like, "Oh man, I'm really horny." And then he like turns around, and there's like a strip club there, and all these like dead babes are like, "Hey, big boy," and he's like.
Yeah.
Whoa, and he like kind of starts walking towards it, and you're like, what is this? What's going on? And then you just cut back to the two of them looking down at him.
Yeah.
Like, wearing the same expression that you were wearing just moments before.
As the viewer, I'm like,
yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
You're just like, it's so funny. And then I think Gina Davis's line is, when did you build that?
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
It's just, I love, so I think it is important to talk about.
Okay.
This is what happens whenever we watch a movie that like is wildly popular and well received, and we also like where we don't talk about specifics, we just talk about what we want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important to talk about the many different faces of Beetlejuice, the many different kinds of Beetlejuice. I'm not talking about woke Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Unless, I think Broadway Beetlejuice might be woke Beetlejuice, actually, now that I think about it.
Maybe we should go see Beetlejuice. Maybe we should go get coronavirus and see Beetlejuice and see
Beetlejuice.
See
well,
how
you
woke
can't
he is.
because Wolverine brought Music Man back, and so you can't watch Beetlejuice anymore,
Oh, did they
push
Beetlejuice out?
Yeah, no,
Hugh Jackman killed Beetlejuice?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman killed Beetlejuice.
Damn, that sucks.
Who would win in a fight, Wolverine or Beetlejuice? Well, it was Wolverine, actually.
Yeah, clearly. Actually, it was more, it was the Music Man. It was Hank Hill from the Music Man.
Did you just say Hank Hill?
Yeah, his name's Howard Hill.
Oh, that's right. It is Hank Hill, isn't it?
Is Hugh Jackman playing Hank Hill, or is he the boring other guy?
No, he's playing Hank Hill.
Okay.
You can't bring... Okay, in the year of our Lord 2020, you can't bring Hugh Jackman into your Broadway show to just play the funny friend. No, he's the man.
But isn't
he's the Music Man.
Who's the other guy in Music Man, though? Not the Music Man, the guy that he pushes the music onto.
No. He pushes the music on. There's like the mayor. There's the guy who sings Shapoopy. That guy who's like his buddy.
When was the first good musical written, do you think?
I don't know. Hey, I like Music Man. I don't think Music Man is good, but I like Music Man.
I could have sworn the leads were like two guys. One of which is just a guy from the town, and then the Music Man shows up, and they become friends or whatever. And then in the third act, the guy's like, "But wait, you were lying this whole time?" And he's like, "No, but now I care, and it wasn't like that at first, babe, wait."
Babe, wait,
isn't it like
babe,
that?
and they're gay, and it's great. And woke Beetlejuice is there.
Yeah. Woke Music
and he's
Man.
like, "It's not subtext, they're gay, get over it, it's 2020.
God, woke Beetlejuice is the best. I'm gonna write in woke Beetlejuice on my phone.
just in case you ever forget.
Woke Beetlejuice would tell me not to do that because he's pretty smart and he would know that that's irresponsible, but I'll still probably do it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I forgot what we were originally talking about, but the many faces of Beetlejuice is that I personally have never watched the TV show.
Right.
And I know that it is a bastardization of the original movie in it that they just make Beetlejuice like a lovable, like, creepy guy, and like Lydia is like his kid sidekick best friend.
Right,
which is like
weird.
Which is very like 90s cartoon, like that's just what we do. We're all doing that, we're gonna do it some more. But like it's a fun dynamic that you couldn't do in a film because we've established him as a lovable pervert.
Right.
So when we get into cartoons, and it can be like, oh no, Beetlejuice is actually just like silly, and he likes slime and he farts, and it's like, oh, isn't he silly?
Yeah, he's like Shrek.
And like, oh, Lydia says that he's handsome, and he goes, handsome. It's like, oh, I like this. This is fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I watched my Beetlejuice Blu-ray.
Not to brag.
Not to flex on you guys. My Beetlejuice Blu-ray, I got it at Walmart for $4.
Oh.
It doesn't have a menu screen. It's the kind of Blu-ray that just starts playing the movie when you put it in.
What the fuck?
So, like, not to flex on you guys or anything, but yeah, I've got that Beetlejuice Blu-ray. But it does have a couple of episodes of the animated TV show on it that I watched after I finished watching it today. And I kind of don't have anything to say about it. It was kind of funny. Like, there were a couple of jokes in each one. Like, I guess as far as, like, 80s cartoons go, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't fucking G.I. Joe. It was like, oh, that actually, there were a couple of jokes that were kind of funny. But it's literally just, like, it's like a 15-minute TV show where, like, the two of them get up to a hijink every episode.
Yeah, like hijinks ensue, and then we get over it, and then we're done.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, okay, yeah, sure. And, like, Beetlejuice kind of doesn't look like Beetlejuice at all to me.
Yeah, I know. I think, well, because they had to separate him from the lovable bird for children's TV. We can't have a sex offender on our child's TV show.
Right.
But see, wow, I just had a stroke. See, this is why we don't record late, because I can't handle it. But I think that the many faces of Beetlejuice is like a sliding scale, where you have animated Beetlejuice on one side and regular Beetlejuice on the other, and in the middle is Broadway Beetlejuice.
Right.
And here's the thing also, because of capitalism and elitism, I can't actually watch the Beetlejuice musical, but here's what I think from seeing stolen clips from TikTok.
Okay.
Is that he's like, Broadway Beetlejuice is in the middle. First of all, the play does a lot more stuff with Lydia and Beetlejuice's relationship, in that it's more than just him wanting to marry her. They, like, kind of have a friendship.
Right.
Beetlejuice is definitely a lot more, like, lovable. He's, like, they play it like, oh, he's all alone and he wants friends because he's dead and he's stuck in the afterlife. So, like,
oh, he's all talk.
He's all talk. I think they play it that, like, he is the original ghost in the house, and then they die. I think that's how they play it in the Broadway musical.
Stupid.
I don't know. I kind of like that. I could be absolutely wrong, also, again, because I have no way of watching this play. But like, he's like he just wants friends, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to make some friends, and he's gonna be a little perverted along the way. And it's like, aw, Beetlejuice.
He's gonna be a slime ball at some point.
Yeah. I
feel like Beetlejuice the musical is one of those things that I'm never... It's just like... I know it's not a Tumblr thing, it's more of a TikTok thing. But regardless of whether it's Tumblr or TikTok, the energy is the same. You know?
And see...
It feels like the next generation of the, like, super Hulock people are really into Beetlejuice the musical.
That's fair. But... I like it, though.
Right, no, which is not to say that it's not good, but I just know it's the kind of thing that I'm never gonna be able to fully engage with because of it.
It's gonna be the Beetlejuice isn't your uwu baby, because he's a registered sex offender.
Right, exactly. So Cade says that in the play he wants to marry her so he can be in the human world, which is the plot of the movie also.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the plot of the movie. They, like, say that at the end for no reason, but, like, still. That's, like, in the movie.
Explain why he did that? Because you're watching the movie and you're like, hey, Beetlejuice, why are we doing this? And it's like, I want to go to the human world, I guess. And then you're like, all right, Beetlejuice.
It's like Wreck-It Ralph. He's just like, oh, if I marry her, then I can go to the human world because of, like, a green card or something. And you're like, why? It's like, because I said so. I just told you. And you're like,
because I said so. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever.
And you're like, okay.
We, like, didn't establish that.
Makes a honk sound.
Like, didn't establish that at all before. You just brought this up now that you're already doing it, but whatever.
It's like when you catch a 2-year-old, like, in the process of doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, and you're like, hey, why are you doing that? And they're like, oh, well, you see. My mom said that I could, and in this scenario, I am the babysitter, and I know that his mother did not say that he could.
Right.
But here's the thing. It's just, yeah. I keep absolutely forgetting what we're talking about.
Let's talk about which of the guys in the undead waiting room are funny, because I've got opinions on this.
Okay, when I was little, that's the end of my thought. When I was little, what freaked me out was the prosthetics a little bit.
Right.
Because
those are pretty freaky.
Yeah, they're pretty freaky. They're only funny if you don't think about them. As soon as you think about them, they're not funny anymore, and then they're
Right,
scary again. Like the guy with the chicken bone in his throat.
Right.
I fucking hate that guy. He's fucking scary.
Right.
Guy smoking a cigarette who burned to death while he was sleeping. That guy's fucking scary.
But he's so funny, though.
But he's so unsettling. The fact that his costume is definitely just a guy sticking his face through a hole in the wall, and then they like put a body underneath
like a grotesque skeleton body. He's just like
yep.
His big line is like in a totally normal voice. He's just like, "Hey, do you want a cigarette?" Like, yeah, I've been trying to cut down. It's so good.
And you're just like, all right,
really funny.
Anyway,
and it's like it might also be kind of funny if you were just like, "Hey, do you want a cigarette?" Might also be funny, but like the normal voice is so good.
But I always like I think he's funny. I like the guy who got like the flat guy who got run over by the car.
Right.
Because he's funny just like in his costuming, and I always think he's Robin Williams for like half a second every time I see him. I'm like, is that Robin Williams? And then he talks and he's not Robin Williams. I'm like, oh, I thought that was Robin Williams. And that's it. That's the only reason I like him, is because sometimes I think he's Robin Williams.
And the shrunken head guy is really funny, if only because he's just quivering all the time.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you see him, he's just, like, vibrating a little bit, which is really good.
Yeah. Ignore the racism. It's weird that he'd be like that.
For sure.
Well, it's like the kind of, like, obscure racism. It's like, you're not referencing any one people, but it still don't feel right. But I guess it's okay. It's like, it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
So here's my plot hole. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the undead world like keeps their same like whole deal from when they died, except the main characters. They just look like regular folks still.
No, people say all the time. Well, because at the very beginning, when they get back to their house, they're still dripping wet, like they got out of the river.
Right.
But then, you know what I think it is, actually? This is here, I'm gonna expose myself live on the recording. So here's the thing.
Okay.
I was mega into The Nightmare Before Christmas when I was, like, in high school, middle school, like, freshman year. Jackson knows this. Jackson can make fun of me till the dogs come home. But here's the thing. Why are the dogs coming home? Usually it's cows. It's very late. Anyway. And
I didn't even occur to me that was wrong. Sorry, continue.
And I love The Nightmare Before Christmas so much so that, like, I had to, like, make a plot. And here's the thing about The Nightmare Before Christmas is that they really do imply that there is lore, and they do not tell you any of it. They do not explain anything. So I just had to bridge all of the gaps in The Nightmare Before Christmas. For example, why is there a mayor and also a king? I have decided that the mayor is an elected position and the king is by birthright. Did Tim Burton say that? No. High school me was just like, that's how that works, because Tim Burton doesn't give a shit and he's not going to tell me.
No, wait, I thought Jack was the Pumpkin King just because he's not like an actual like official. He's like the prom. The prom king.
No, Jackson, because the mayor comes to his house the day after Halloween, and he's like, Jack, we gotta get prepared for next Halloween. I'm an elected official. I can't do it by myself. So Jack is essential to the government and the functioning of Halloween Town, because the mayor doesn't actually do it by himself. Jack is essential, and yet he is not an elected official. Therefore, here are my two theories about who gets to be the Pumpkin King.
Okay, I have a theory too.
It is either like a blood thing, like a real royalty, where it's like, oh, Jack's father before him was the Pumpkin King, and now he is the Pumpkin King, and Jack's son will be the Pumpkin King. That's one theory. Yeah, exactly. Another theory is that it's more of like a prom king thing, where it's like the scariest monster gets to be the Pumpkin King, but it's also like an actual position. It's like if prom king actually then had to run the school after he became prom king.
Right. No,
That's the second scenario.
No, here's what I think. I think he just has a job. Like, first of all, the mayor still has to run the city, right?
Yeah.
Not 100% of what they do has to do with, like, preparing for Halloween, right? He's got to, like, sign the budgets and shit.
Yeah, the mayor has to, like, put up the parking meters
and
shit.
The mayor is still the mayor. He runs the municipality. But Jack is just the guy who's in charge of all the Halloween stuff. And I think that's, like, his job. And the Pumpkin King is like, oh, every year they vote on a Pumpkin King, like a beauty queen or whatever, like Miss America.
Gotcha.
And he's just a well-respected member of the town. And people like him so much that the year that it happens to take place, not only was he in charge of most of the stuff, but he was also the Pumpkin King.
You know what? I would not say that, because I do not think that Jack would go into a life-altering depressive episode if he got made the prom king just one time. If it was just the one time, he would be like, wow, that was really overwhelming, and it kind of sucked the fun out of Halloween for me, because I felt like I was in charge of everything, and that, like, everything was on me. That was really stressful. I didn't like that. But we see Jack completely crumble this year under all the weight and stress of being the Pumpkin King, so much so that he just fucking wanders into the woods with no goal in sight in a depressive episode.
No.
I don't think
he's in charge of Halloween. He's in charge of Halloween every year. That's his permanent job. Being the Pumpkin King and being in charge of Halloween are disparate. They're not the same thing.
They're disparate?
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think it is a repeated thing where he is always the Pumpkin King, whether that is a title that he holds or something that he wins every year. Either it's a repeated thing because it's starting to weigh down on him, and that's what's causing him to crack when the movie happens.
Also, my other counter argument would be, who the fuck cares? Also.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. Nobody. Tim Burton doesn't care. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So you just have to figure it the fuck out, and that's what I did all of freshman year of high school. But so here's my theory for Beetlejuice of why they don't look like when they were dead versus why everyone else still looks like they're dead. It's because they're doing it wrong. They don't know the rules. So when they died, the first thing that they did was, like, they dried all their stuff off and they, like, got situated and just, like, putzed around reading the book for a little bit. Versus all of these people, I think, died immediately and then went to the waiting room immediately, like they were supposed to. So they haven't had the chance to, like, clean themselves up or get the shark off of their leg, you know? Like, they just immediately went to the waiting room versus, like, getting cleaned up first.
But what about, like, the lady with the slit wrists or the slit throat or the flat guy?
Well, we're not told how they die. I think we're supposed to assume that they drowned rather than they were, like, impaled or something.
Right.
So the being drowned doesn't really have a visual other than,
but
like...
aren't there other drowned people that are, like, blue and, like, bloated?
I don't think there's the shark guy, but he's, like, kind of blue, and then he's got, like, a shark on him, which is very funny. I guess maybe
the cause of death was shark, not water.
Yeah, not water. And you could argue, there's also a lot of times when we are showed people in the undead world where there's definitely just a colored light being shown on them. So maybe there's just not a colored light where Barbara and What's-His-Face are standing.
All right.
What is the husband's goddamn name? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't care. It's Alec Baldwin.
And Alec Baldwin is there.
So, okay, I have a question about Lydia.
Yes.
Here's the situation. You are, I think, probably 13 or 14.
Right now?
Yeah, And
Except I'm 20.
You hear your parents making love in the room next to you. And you're like, oh my god. Like, you're kind of mature, and presumably the family dynamic is such that this probably isn't the first time it's happened, and you kind of made your peace with it, right? But you still don't like it, right? Yeah. You're like, oh, guys, quiet down in there, you grossos. Yeah. And then you walk outside, and to your perspective, you see both of your parents walk outside of their bedroom in fetish gear, right? Yep, They are sheets, but in your perspective, you just heard them having sex, so you're only assuming this is some sort of thing for them. So your response to this situation is to take out your Polaroid camera and take dozens of pictures of them while chastising them verbally.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, your thoughts on that scene in this movie.
Well, I think you are making a goof, but...
But that's what happens in the movie, though.
That is what happens in the movie. I think, because the movie doesn't talk about it all, but Catherine O'Hara is Lydia's stepmother, so it's like... It's a little bit of a different relationship where it's like, it's not... They have a lot of moments where they're actually very close and it's very sweet. But, like, it's like, that's not my mom. That's just some lady that my dad is having sex with. So when she, like, goes and, like, makes fun of them...
say stepmom?
Yeah, they say stepmom.
Okay.
Yeah, because Barbara's like, your mom and your dad, and she's like, stepmom. Like, it's her stepmom.
Okay, I missed that.
But yeah, it's really good, and she's really goth while she says it. But but it's like, yeah, like it's not the relationship. It's like it's your mom and dad. From your perspective at this point in the movie, it's very much like your stepmom and your dad. So like you're very much like making fun of them, and like you're like trying to make them uncomfortable and like trying to like poke at their buttons, you know.
Okay, no, actually, I'm not gonna say okay, I guess, because that does not work for me. That's still the fucking weirdest shit in the world to do.
Okay, you can look me in the eyes and say that Lydia isn't weird as shit.
not in that particular way, I don't think.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is...
I do really like how this movie kind of plays the idea of like a goth teen, because like she feels like such a realistic and like grounded goth teen. I feel like when people try to portray that kind of person, they just like go fucking crazy with it in a way that isn't very realistic for the majority of goth teens. Like, not all of us can afford all that makeup. Some of us just have to have black hair and be tired all the time, and that just has to be it. Like, I like that she like has like a purple room and she like has like dark clothing, but she's never like wearing like corpse paint or anything like that. Right. I like that she just like looks like a girl for the majority of the movie. I really like that. I also love how the family kind of interacts with her. Like, again, you have that kind of like tense relationship with her and Catherine O'Hara some of the time. Like when they're like at that first dinner and the mom's like, oh, let's all do our part to make this a good dinner, like stuff like that. But I do like how like her and the dad interact, where obviously the dad loves her very much, but is also just being an airhead and self-absorbed at the same time. Right. But like it's always very clear that he loves her, even if sometimes he's being a dick. Like even when the ghost comes up to the door and he thinks it's her and he's like, haha, fucking stop it, I love you, kisses her on the cheek, please leave. Like, you know, right, like, yeah. It's like this situation where it's like, he's being kind of a bad dad because he's kind of being just like, hey, get out of here, but he's like being loving while he does it, which is very nice. And I also love when they're like talking about what they're gonna do with the house, and Lydia's like, I think we should keep it the same. The mom's like, no, we're gonna change everything, and the dad's like, don't worry, Lydia, we'll make you a dark room in the basement. Like, it's so funny because the way that he like reads that line, it's not like mean, it's just like, I know that Lydia would probably like that if we did that, so I'm gonna say that we're gonna do it. Like, yeah. I just love the way he reads it. It's like, oh, what a nice dad, he knows that his daughter is goth.
Right. And there's something weird about the fact that like I don't know, the script definitely wants you to think that like the Dietzes are like fucking city
bad parents,
like like bad parents, like liberal elite fucking like airheads, bourgeoisie like pigs who like come in and fuck up everything that's good in the world with their like corporate bullshit, you know. But like they all seem really nice and cool is the thing. Like a lot of them are like really likable, and like they just seem like people who are fun to hang out with. And I really like Catherine O'Hara's sculptures. Like they're all pretty cool, and I support her, and like they just all seem nice.
Female boss. But like honestly, like don't get me wrong, she's intense and she's like obviously being very rude to the ghosts, but like I give her the benefit of the doubt. Not everybody has to interact with ghosts all the time. We see her be very nice to human people. If she's rude to ghosts, that's one thing. But, like, I love it when she's screaming at the husband, and she's like, if I am not allowed to express myself, I'm going to go crazy, and I'm going to take you with me! It's just, like, it's so good. I love her so much.
By the way, Adeline, that statement you just made is going to age really poorly someday when we have our first ghost president.
Yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry.
But yeah,
hey, this is Beetlejuice. Just letting you know that ghosts are people too.
There's a long history of media in America that demonizes ghosts and the ghost way of life, but it's really important that we all need to educate ourselves and retrain our brains in the way that we think of the post-living.
Hey everybody, Beetlejuice comes in and he sits backwards on a chair. He says, I'm here to talk to you for a little bit. Even don't use the phrase demonizes, because it's really offensive to demons like myself.
It's good. It's a good bit.
And I think we all just need to take a moment to think about how the words that we use and the history of those words affects those around us. Even if it's old definitions or old meanings, it can still have very real effects today. And then he puts the chair back and then he farts.
And then he takes a big dump on somebody's grave. Okay, so we've been going for a hot second.
Yeah, it's because this movie's really good.
I'm mostly at the end of my notes. One thing I just think is interesting is how seemingly one of their fundamental ghost powers is to make people sing Harry Belafonte songs.
Yeah, no, they never do explain that, do they?
which is fine. It's pretty good. I like it.
Listen. If Tim Burton doesn't give enough of a shit to explain it, then
right.
Then I don't give enough of a shit to try to figure it out.
And also, Catherine O'Hara is really, really good in the scene where she starts singing the song. Well, I wasn't going to say she was hot at that juncture, but I mean, that also too. But she's also really good in that scene, like, playing somebody who's being forced to sing a Harry Belafonte song.
Yeah. I feel it. It's real. The emotion is real.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know what's another fucking thing they don't explain in that scene? What the fuck is up with the shrimp hands?
I don't know, just another spooky thing.
It's just another spooky ghost? I don't know.
But it's just funny because the Maitlands are like, we've got to start simple. We got to learn the basics before we could do something more advanced. And then it's like smash cut to Harry Belafonte's song.
To sing and dance.
Yeah, and demonic shrimp hands.
Yeah, like, the basics.
Are those the basics? Like, I guess they could be.
Yeah, just every time anybody has a story, it's like, oh, the house that I grew up in is haunted. And you're like, oh, do tell. Would you, like, see people, like, at the corner of your eye in the hallway? Or would, like, teacups, like, disappear? Or, like, would drawers open or stuff like that? They're like, no, every night my family would get up and be forced to sing a song. What? I was gonna say
Harry Belafonte.
Whatever, Harry Belafonte. I can't fucking say words or...
I mean, it was pretty helly when that happened.
For any kind of listening comprehension. But just like, yeah, we were forced to sing, and we would dance around, and then whatever food we were eating would turn into a demonic hand and grab our faces. And you're like, yes. Simple.
It's like, oh yeah, but you can't really trust that because your brain can play tricks on you a lot of the time with that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then they fucking leave.
And then...
See, this is my personal character growth as a person, that if Tim Burton doesn't give enough of a shit to explain something, I'm not going to try to figure it out.
Yeah, it's not important.
That was all of freshman me's life, was trying to figure out things that Tim Burton refused to explain. And honestly, I'm happier now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I also just want to say...
Oogie Boogie? Why is he in charge? Are Lock, Shock, and Barrel children? Or are they monsters? Or are they monster children? When they are adults, will they still be trick-or-treaters? Is Shock actually a witch? Who fucking knows? I don't.
Okay. Wait, remind me, was the professor, like, piloting Oogie Boogie?
No, so that
I know
was
Oogie Boogie was bugs, but was the professor inside the bugs?
no. So that was a deleted scene.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
The original ending makes so much more fucking sense than they cut it.
Okay.
So here's the thing. So you got Dr. Finkelstein. He makes Sally to be his wife. He makes Sally, she's like his daughter instead. And he's like, oh, that fucking sucks. That's in the original. In this version, he makes Sally to be his wife, and she's Sally. She's not wifey material, at least for this gross old man.
Right, she's a girl boss.
So, yeah, so she's like, man, Jack is so fucking hot. I love Jack Skellington so much. I love Jack Skellington. And Dr. Finkelstein is so fucking butthurt that he's such an incel that when the woman that he creates is in love with someone else, he creates Oogie Boogie to kill Jack, and also her, and also Santa Claus. It's a little... See, Tim Burton doesn't explain that either.
This version's way better. So it's kind of like... I mean, I guess it doesn't totally make sense, but like...
No, because like, why... In that scenario, who the fuck are Lock, Shock, and Barrel? And how long has he kept up this con where Oogie Boogie is like a person in a town that like everybody kind of knows and also kind of hates? That like, is Dr. Finkelstein just like... Whenever he wants to do something shitty, does he just dress up as Oogie Boogie and then do it? Has he been doing this for years? Much so that he's gotten Lock, Shock, and Barrel to also get on board with it. And like, do they know that it's Dr. Finkelstein? Are they fucking confused when they like leave like flaming shit sacks on Dr. Finkelstein's porch? Does Oogie Boogie get really mad at them later? And they're like, what the fuck? Why? Like, what?
Adeline, I have to stop you.
No, please.
I shouldn't have asked.
No, please don't silence me. But so in the version that we got, Oogie Boogie's just fucking bugs. He's just a bug man, which is fine. If you want to say the boogeyman's made of bugs, it's whatever. But why, Tim? Why did you do this?
Okay. At the end, I really like when Alec Baldwin is driving the little car. Whenever you cut to a wide shot, it's just like a little toy car, like flying off a desk or something.
Yeah, it's really fun.
It's very funny.
I love the reaction shot when he drives the car off the table, and you're like, "Oh fuck!" But then it just gets to the reaction shot of him just kind of like bouncing in the car seat. It's very funny.
Right.
God. So wait, I want to ask the viewers something. Is me just like spewing all of the things that I know about the Nightmare Before Christmas entertaining? Because if it is, we may have to do a Nightmare Before Christmas episode.
No, we can't, Adeline. I promise that will never happen.
No, please. I need to vent this. I'm just gonna explode one day. See, this kind of thing wouldn't happen if we just had one episode where I got to vent all of it.
Maybe. I mean, that is kind of what happened with Star Wars. Once we started actually doing Star Wars episode, we stopped talking about Star Wars on literally every podcast episode.
Yeah, exactly. See, this would be a net gain for you.
So, I'm trying to think if there's anything, like the very last... little bit. I mean, there's not a lot of Beetlejuice in this movie, is the thing.
No, that's the thing.
He's probably only in it for like a total of like 15 minutes.
Yeah, but those 15 minutes are fucking gold, my guy.
And you almost wonder if they were gonna make a Beetlejuice sequel, if they would like put too much Beetlejuice in it, you know?
They probably would. I think the reason that everybody loves Beetlejuice is because we got the perfect amount of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, exactly.
We spent so much time like leading up to him. We're like, oh, who the fuck is Beetlejuice? And when you get to Beetlejuice and it's this guy, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Why is it this guy?
Right.
And then when he's like funny, like the 15 minutes that he gets, he's fucking hilarious and fucking charismatic. It's like the perfect amount of Beetlejuice. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I get a little bit more, and oh, I get a little bit more, and then he gets eaten by a snake, and then the movie ends.
And then he gets a cartoon show. You can watch him every week on your own TV.
Yeah, you can watch him every week, unless it's now, and then you can't.
You can watch him every day. You can watch it all at once if you so desire.
Hey, Jackson, get fucked. Everybody in the chat says the Nightmare Before Christmas episode would be very entertaining.
Okay. Let's see. I've just written down Catherine O'Hara hot.
Yeah, in all caps over and over again.
Oh,
and someone has actually deleted all of my notes and just written woke Beetlejuice over and over again. So I don't know what that's about.
I kind of don't like the brief moment in this where they're like, you have to keep our existence a secret. The world can never know about us. Because it's just like a thing that I am exhausted by in stories most of the time, to be frank.
Where it's like, oh, you can't know. Nobody can know. Nobody can know that fairies exist. You almost threatened our whole existence. Nobody can know that fucking mermaids exist. You almost threatened our whole existence.
Right.
Like, it's just like, fucking... Maybe it's better to control the fallout of people knowing that your secret magic shit exists than to just be like, oh, they can never know. What if you just told them and controlled how they found out? Maybe that would be better.
That's what I love about Toy Story. It would be so fucking easy for Toy Story to have Woody talk to Buzz and be like, the humans can't ever find out about us. You know?
Or to have some fucking, like, bureaucracy toys, and they're like...
Right.
If they pulled a fucking Boss Baby, where they were like, oh, we gotta go to toy headquarters, and these are the toys in charge. Like, that would be so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Like,
I'm glad we didn't do that.
Yeah, Toy Story shows such restraint to, like, be 4 movies and, like, a dozen odd little specials in without having anyone ever say, they can't find out about us, you know? Which is just so... it makes it so much better.
Yeah. Hey, Toy Story is a good movie. I don't know if anyone's ever said this.
The fact that they can't find out about them is all subtext, and you don't need to have it explained to you.
And like, I get it. It would be weird if all our toys were talking. I get why they don't want that. Right. I understand.
The last thing I have written down is just that it's weird that those football players show up in their house at the end.
Yeah.
Because like they don't know each other or what's.
They're like The advertising in the end of the movie kind of makes it seem like the football players become a part of the family.
I guess.
And I don't know where the fuck that came from. I do think it's funny when they're following the lady around and they keep calling her coach. I think that's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Would it be fun if I found, and I will find one of these, I haven't started looking yet, but if I found a 1-star review that was somebody talking about how problematic Beetlejuice is and read it in woke Beetlejuice's voice?
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. I like that.
Give me just a minute.
I just want to say...
We can just chat for a minute while I'm scrolling through.
Yeah. I don't remember how old Lydia is in this movie. I think she's like 14, probably. Mm-hmm. I say we're both past the age of thinking. I have a thought. Okay. I'm not.
I was just like, yeah, probably.
I was gonna say we're both past the age of like being like attracted to her, but like that, I know that was like like an awakening for a lot of kids. They're like, oh, Lydia's hot, and Lydia is hot if it's appropriate for her to be hot. It's like the thing with Catherine O'Hara in Modern Day You. It's just like, if you're 14, she's hot.
That's
but,
always
like,
a
I just love the ending.
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I know what you're gonna talk about, but it's like I just love at the ending when she's like in like her like school uniform, like she looks so fucking cute and she's like happy, but she's still like goth, like she still looks like Lydia, but she just looks like happy and she's like wearing nice clothes. It's just very cute and I like it.
Yeah. It's always like the scenario of like watching an old movie and seeing an actor who's currently like 75 back when they were young and being like, damn, they could like really get it. Where it's like,
oh yeah,
I don't know, for some reason if you're looking at somebody like that is appropriately aged for you right now, you can just be like, yeah, they're super hot and I would love to fucking hit it. You're just like, that's the end of that thought. But then, like...
That's the end of that thought, because there's no reality.
But, and the thing is that you never will. There's no reality in which I will ever meet Anya Taylor-Joy and become romantically entangled with her. But, like, for some reason, that is, like, easier to entertain in my head than me meeting young Catherine O'Hara. You know? There's, like, just this weird dissonance that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, I couldn't be with her because she's old now. Also because she's Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, exactly. Even if she was young, I'm not going to go have sex with Catherine O'Hara. It's not going to happen.
I thought you were going to say that weird thing of, like, characters that you, like, thought were hot when you were, like, little, that, like, as you grow up, you're like, oh, I can't think that they're hot anymore. Like, every single man on the whole planet and Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, right, yeah.
Have you noticed that? Just, like, every single man on the planet. It's like, oh, man, it gets more and more inappropriate for me to be in love with Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking through. I'm trying to talk about my sexual feelings while also reading
I
other
guess
things.
I'm just calling out Travis McElroy and also Danny Sexbang, but that's just like, I don't know. That's the majority of the media that I intake anyway, so.
I'm sorry,
I
I'm going
guess
to be quiet for a minute. I'm reading.
No, you're good. This isn't going into the podcast. I like that my brain didn't call him Daniel Avidan, it called him Daniel Sexbang, which is.
Oh, okay.
Just shows
Okay.
that I've got zero brain cells.
This is
Did you
something.
find one like
no,
immediately?
No. This is something we just need to discuss. I'm going to put this in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
They announced a couple of days ago that one of the bad guys is in Spider-Man 3, the new Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
Is going. Do you know about this?
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's going to be Electro, as played by Jamie Foxx, who played Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
Like, coming on top of J.K. Simmons already being in the new Spider-Mans also. I'm trying to figure out
hilarious
if Marvel has just decided they don't give a fuck and they'll bring people in to play characters again if they like them enough, or if they're like actually trying to set up a Spider-Verse thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, everybody fucking fight me. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was fucking good.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is good.
And I'm gonna fucking kill all of you.
Yeah.
It's fucking good. When he's like, they do like the electricity and like just his whole shit and the way that he looks so fucking cool as Electro.
Yeah.
And like when he fucking like he's fighting Spider-Man and they're like at the like electrical place and like the electrical like reverberation sounds like the Spider-Man theme. But he's like making fun. It's like it's so good. And like fucking I saw somebody who was like, I fucking hate that movie because they fucking kill Gwen Stacy just so Peter Parker can be sad about it. And it's like, that is a valid thing to think, but that's not that fucking movie's fault. That's all of Spider-Man Forever's fault. Like, you can't be like, I don't like that movie because of that, because that movie did not invent that.
Right. And like, okay, just speaking of Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't mean to diss on somebody who's tangentially in my social circle, but Cosmonaut Marcus made I don't know his actual name. I don't know, whatever. Made a video about those where one of his central points was like, actually, I shouldn't do a goofy voice for somebody who's a real person I might know. But, like, his whole point was like, it's actually kind of messed up because, like, you know, Spider-Man, like, Uncle Ben dies and then he just becomes this, like, vigilante, just like beating the shit out of criminals and like being violent and like
criminals
and like vengeful. It's like, that's not the Spider-Man I know. When like that's literally the point, is that he's like lashing out because he's grieving and doing shitty things that he probably shouldn't be proud of. And then once he gets some sort of like growth and catharsis, he stops doing that and moves on from those kind of activities. That's like literally not even like subtext in the movie.
It's like, it's literally about like his teen aggression. Like, that's what it is. Like, if you want to...
He's so angry and horny all the time.
All the time. But, like, before you said that goof, I was gonna say, like, it's kind of... I mean, the first thing that, like, it came to mind was, like school shooters and that kind of thing. Like, it's somebody's, like, he's so angry and he's so hurt and he doesn't know what to do about it, so he's like, I'm just gonna fucking kick the shit out of people. And it's like, oh shit, Spider-Man might become a villain because he's so fucking angry that his uncle's dead. Like, and he just doesn't know what to fucking do about it. Like, it's good. And fucking Andrew Garfield is great in those movies. He's such a good Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I genuinely love his Peter Parker a whole lot. Because fucking Tobey Maguire is a pretty good Spider-Man. He's the fucking worst Peter Parker. I hate his Peter Parker.
And see, like, I feel like a lot of people don't give the Amazing Spider-Man movies enough credit for, like, the sort of stylistic swing that it takes. Where they were like, what if we did Spider-Man... What if we did Spider-Man, but it was like a Diablo Cody, like, mumblecore movie? It's like, that's really cool.
Fuck yeah, dude!
Yeah! And it's just cool, it's good, and those movies are good, and everyone can eat my nuts about it.
Yeah, God. It's good. I'm so tired of people being like, why there are a million Spider-Man movies, and then also being like, did Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3 is amazing, and be like, shut the fuck up.
Why is
I
it that
hate
whenever
it
I'm
when people
looking...
come up.
Sorry, go ahead.
I immediately lose all respect for you when you come up to me and you're like, Spider-Man 2 is the best movie ever made. I'm just like, no, it's so funny. It's not good. It's amazing because it's bad. You don't get it. And then they're like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the worst movie ever made. And I'm like, fucking shut up, bro. You're wrong. You got it backwards, my guy. I hate it.
Why is it that whenever I'm just scrolling around on Letterboxd in my everyday life, I can, like, there's always somebody just being like, this movie is rape culture, like, no matter what. And now, when I'm trying to find one in a movie that it might kind of be applicable for, I can't find one.
The one where they might have a point.
Right. There's a lot of people just being like, the story's really over the top and weird and crazy, and I don't like that about it. It's like, why didn't you watch this movie?
I know. It's got fucking... I love it when things just go apeshit. I've already said this. I think I've said this exact thing on the podcast. But just like, Beetlejuice goes apeshit. Right. And I love it. They just go all in on a crazy idea, and they're like, we're gonna take this crazy idea with like some actual like heart and with like some cool design choices, and we're just gonna fucking do it. And I'm like, fucking hell yeah, my guy, that's what I want. I want that. That's what makes Roger Rabbit so good, because they're like, we're gonna have like a gritty 1920s detective, but he's doing cases for cartoon characters, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do it so fucking well and like genuinely have really good like character arcs. We're gonna fucking do it. I'm like, fuck yeah. God.
Okay, I'm going to abandon that planned bit because I couldn't find any, and I'm in the 1.5 stars already. But I did find a really good one.
Okay, great.
And let's be clear here. It's going to sound like this person is trolling, but I've taken a peek at their account, and I'm very, very certain they are not.
Oh, no.
So, Adeline, keeping that in mind, would you like to hear a 3 out of 10 review of Beetlejuice?
I would.
This person says, this movie ruined my favorite musical for me. It's done poorly, and it didn't have the full story. They filled this whole thing with nonsense that isn't relevant or useful to the story, so thanks for nothing, I guess.
Oh. 2013 Tumblr.
Anyway, my name is Jackson McMurray.
My name is Alan McMurray. I was trying to do that to like the theme of Mrs. Universe, like 2013 Tumblr was like walking down the stage. There she is. Okay. 2013 Tumblr.
Yeah. And it's like, it's hard to even, because the musical's like 2 years old.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how this could be.
How can you not understand that this is the 80s and not the present? This came out in the past, so logically this had to come out before the musical.
Like, is this person like 13?
They got it.
And their parents showed them Beetlejuice, maybe? Like the musical?
You know, they were probably... No, here's what happened. They found Beetlejuice the musical on TikTok or on Tumblr, and they were like, I fucking love this. This is my whole shit. I love this. Beetlejuice is my ooh-woo baby. I love all this shit. And then their parents, and then their dad was like, oh, hey, child of mine that I love and want to share my interests with. Why don't you watch the original Beetlejuice with me, my child that I love?
Right.
And they were like, all right, Dad. And then they watched it, and they were like, but what?
But how could you not understand that it came first is the thing.
Maybe you don't understand how time works. Yet, you know when you're...
I think it has to be completely independent. I think if you're interacting with any other person, the fact that Beetlejuice the musical was based on the movie would have to come up.
So here's
I think this person saw the play, and on TikTok or whatever, and just naturally assumed that it's like a revival of a really old play. which is not an
Yeah.
unreasonable assumption to make, because almost all plays are old.
Yes.
And just Googled Beetlejuice and saw that there was a movie also and must have assumed it was backwards. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, I think their thought was like, Beetlejuice the movie? They made a movie out of my musical? And they clicked on it, and then it's like... But even still, I don't know how this person exists.
Okay, anyway, did we say our names already?
My name is probably.
Yeah, we did. We're good.
We did. Where am I?
I'm Jackson McMurray. You're Adeline McMurray. This is No Nerds Allowed. I don't know how I'm going to edit this together. I'll figure it out.
See how the podcast. Fuck out of here.
Maybe now is the actual end. Maybe before was. I don't know. Maybe this is the end of the podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us and letting us talk about woke Beetlejuice for so long.
So long! For just a really long time. See, part of me is like, I know that a lot of our fans, a lot of the people who listen to us because they like when we just talk about random shit. They just like the way that we have conversations. So, like, I get it. I get that people usually like it when we just talk about whatever, make goofs or whatever. But the other half of me is just like, man, and a lot of our episodes, we just don't talk about fucking anything. Like, we just...
Right.
We're just like, wow, those really are just sounds coming out of my mouth, huh?
Yeah.
Those aren't no coherent thoughts anywhere to be seen.
Ian says he loves woke Beetlejuice, which, may I just add, is literally the first time we've gotten anybody in the chat to even acknowledge woke Beetlejuice. People have been very silent on woke Beetlejuice, and frankly, your silence speaks volumes. Yes.
I think it's very telling that all of you are silent about woke Beetlejuice. God, I gotta go.
Sir, can you endorse woke Beetlejuice? I mean, you know, it's there's a lot to like.
Issue.
There's a lot to like about woke Beetlejuice, but do you endorse him? Woke Beetlejuice is a good man. Do you endorse woke Beetlejuice? Woke Beetlejuice is definitely. Sir, no, I'm sorry. I have to. Do you endorse woke Beetlejuice, sir? That's my.
And this whole time, somebody's like shoving his head into a limo.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, hold on. Shoving his head into a limo like he's being put in the back of a police car, but it's a limo.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, gamers.
Now I have to figure out some way to put that in the podcast too. I'm gonna stop recording
streaming
now.
Oh, you're still?
We're still streaming.
Oh, okay, cool. God.
I don't know, we just got good energy. I'm just writing it out. What's up, chat?
We do have good energy, but... What's up, gamers? See, as soon as you said that, though, I hit the off button, and then...
Right, okay, fair.
No, Jackson, I had already stopped recording when you did that, so I think it might just live in the podcast. I mean, it might just live in the live.
Well, I mean, just me doing the bit was still in there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because it was pretty one-sided, if I'm honest.
Hey, you're right.
I mean, maybe I'll go back to the stream to find your bit about the limo, but whatever.
Or maybe you'll just, like, cut in sounds of me reacting from earlier in the podcast.
Haha, yeah.
Haha, yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay, we're done. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, we're fucking done. God.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna end the stream. We appreciate you, everybody who comes back and listens to us all the time. And there was somebody who I didn't even know who was commenting today. Aragorn Kyukin.
And they're from Australia.
Maybe. But thanks, we appreciate it, and we love when we have viewers that aren't, our regulars. We love to have new people come in and experience the wonders of our podcast for the very first time as virgins. Okay, yeah, that's all. Thanks,
I would like to say
guys.
that we had a new listener, and I gotta say, our people who always listen, they were not gatekeeping as much as I wanted them to.
Yeah, you should have been really hostile towards them.
Yeah, I wanted them to feel uncomfortable with the energy in the studio.
Okay, that's it. For real, we're ending it now. I don't know a good way to like end a stream, but like
push the button.
Goodbye. Pushing the button now.
Push the button.
End stream.